Hi, I'm Terry with Cornerstone, and this is the Unity G Plus large gas grill outdoor kitchen module. It's large, it's in charge, and we're gonna go over everything about this grill module in this video. Everything from what to expect when you get it, what are the features of the grill, and even how to build it. So stick around, we're gonna get right into it. This is it, the Unity G Plus. This is our big outdoor kitchen module. Has a 32-inch Summerset Sizzler grill and 12 foot of stone countertop space. Now is where I'm going to sort of yap on and on about it and tell you how great it is. And then after that, if you're still interested, I'll show you how to build it. If you don't want to hear me, you can turn down the volume or you can skip ahead to the build. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 paces. Come take a stroll with me down my outdoor kitchen and grill island. Specs, specs, specs. We can go over specs, we can read specs. Specs are important, you need to know the specs. But what's it like to live with? What's its impression? How does it make you feel? This being solid masonry construction, not only is it durable and low maintenance, but when you walk upon it, it doesn't look like something that's just hanging out here. It's not fake fiberglass stone with painted in mortar lines. It's not a stainless roll cart. This is a built-in professional grade masonry grill island. What does solid masonry construction mean? It means it's tough. You get 8 square feet of countertop space on this side and 4 square feet on this side for a total of 12. It's quite a bit. I'm right-handed, so I work from left to right. Like I've mentioned earlier, you can build this the other way and work right to left with the grill on the right side. Got plenty of room to get your food together, prep your food, cook your food, finish and serve your food from this end. And of course, if this is a part of your outdoor kitchen, either on this side or just past it, you can keep adding on or turn a 90-degree corner and just keep adding on things. So this is just really nice. You've got a shelf here to put any ingredients you need, your drink, keep it out of the way, salt, pepper, whatever. The thing that I love about these Summerset Sizzler grills is their value for money. That doesn't mean they're cheap. These are not cheap grills. As a matter of fact, these are a high-end professional grill. But compared to other ones on the market, they are very competitively priced. And if you watch my other video, which I'll put a link to, hopefully here, you can see how well they hold up. Mine looks almost new and it's 8 years old. It hasn't rusted out, looks near pristine. The fit and finish of these is great. These are made in California. I know it's hard, they say it's hard to find things made in America anymore. These are made in California by people who love to make grills, and it shows. There aren't seams, and they're not just screwed together with seams where water and rust can get in. These are welded and then ground and polished. The fit and finish is impeccable. I mean, just even where you wouldn't normally look, it's just well thought out inside. This is a 4-burner system of your main burners. And of course, under this warming rack, we have an infrared burner. Then we have 4 removable stainless steel heavy-duty grates. I probably should have done the research on all the specs, but 8mm, I'm guessing. Then under there you have these trays. Same thing on each of these. Then you have your stainless steel burners. These can come out and be serviced. This has obviously never been fired up. I've had mine for years, if you've seen my other video, and they last for years, no problem. Open straight to the bottom. Perfectly made just high quality in every section, in every corner. What I love about this grill, the entire bottom slides right out. You slide this entire bottom out, once again, all stainless. And this is where all your grease falls down to, all your burnt little crispy parts falls right down in there. Super easy to clean. The whole bottom just comes right out. So like I've said, very well thought out. And I think this could be a great addition to your backyard. Is this thing awesome or what? Okay, now you've heard me babble on about how great this thing is. Why don't you stick with me? I'll show you how easy this is to build in your backyard. I've got all my blocks set out. My workspace is clean and safe. I've got all the tools I'm gonna need. I've got my first course laid. I've got an entire video on how to set up your workspace and lay out your first course. If you haven't seen it, check out the link above. You can check out the link below, but I've already seen that video, so I'm gonna get started. Okay, now that you've watched that first video to get set up, you can see I've got my entire first course laid down and it's nice and square. And you might notice that I finally found my drywall square. Jake had it the whole time, go figure. Anyway, as I was checking this and stepping around on it and making sure it was all perfect, I did notice that this block here wants to rock. So that must mean that my foundation is off a little bit. And you'll probably find this on your foundation too, especially if you're gonna lay it on pavers. You're gonna find this next tip especially helpful. We're gonna get that rock out of there and make sure the corner of this build is rock solid, pun intended. You've laid your entire first course and it's square and it's level and everything's looking good, except you come across this issue like I have, where this corner dips down a little bit and this block wants to rock, which means this block's kind of low. And if we don't fix it now, it's gonna show up through our entire build and we're gonna have sort of a weak corner. The best way to fix this is just to use a little bit of sand. You can use a little bit of sand under your blocks to level them out. And that way you get a nice flat pad. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, sand, won't that wash out? Well, as long as you use less than 1/4 inch, sand will be fine. If you've ever put a pot or something on your patio and you come to move it away later and you pick up that pot and move it, it's not clean underneath. There's all sort of dirt and dust and maybe even little bugs living under there, because it actually is going to trap the dirt and sand underneath it. So as long as you don't power wash right up against it, it's going to be okay. So this is going to be easy to do. We're just going to remove these stones. We're going to add a little sand and put them back. Now this one's just going to take a little bit. And I like to actually use a brush. Now your sand might also have little baby pebbles in them, and those little baby pebbles might be more than you need to level them out. So we're just gonna make sure we lightly brush the little pebbles right out of there. There's Okay, that just took a few minutes, but that's looking really good. Now what I want to do so this doesn't tip out, I want to just take this excess sand and push and sweep it up under there. We're just gonna make sure that that sand is where we want it. And now we're ready to build. Now we'll just start building and start stacking our blocks like big boy Legos. Be sure to follow your instructions. It may not look exactly like I'm building it here. We're constantly updating and improving our instructions, so just make sure you follow the instructions with your kit. As you can see, I'm using my 4-foot level as a straight edge, and I'm going ahead and turning it sideways to make sure all the blocks line up in a nice straight line. Keeping my block straight ensures that I have the proper length to my run.
Remember to keep your block clean so the glue adheres.
All right, we're 3 courses high. Now's when we really need to start checking plumb. What I like to do is go ahead and lay my whole course down, make sure it's all straight with the straight edge, and then take my level with the plumb vial and go around and make sure all the corners are plumb. And we're gonna check this every course as we go up.
When checking plumb, be sure to sight down the edge of your block to easily see which block needs to be moved in or out.
We're starting the 4th course and we're to our first set of special pieces. If you look in your instructions, you'll notice that this back section of wall takes special half pieces. This is so that if you have a cabinet, you have more room, or if you have the drawer, then you have room to slide your drawer in. If you're using this as a return corner for the rest of your kitchen, this won't apply to you, but it's good to know. So once you find these half block, they're these medium-sized wedges cut in half. You wanna make sure you have the 2 proper sizes to make sure you get the length you need. You wanna put the 2 cut pieces together. If they don't make a half wedge, you don't have the 2 pieces. You need a small piece and a large piece. And as you can see here, when I put the 2 cut sides together, it'll make a wedge. So therefore I have the 2 pieces I need. I'm just going to lay them like I would any other block. And we want to make sure the cut side goes on the inside so that the outside all looks the same. And once we have that, we're just going to keep on building.
Continue to lay your block according to your instructions. Just remember that you'll be gluing yours, unlike me, because I'm just doing mine for a demo. The section coming up is taken from our Unity G video. The concept still applies to this build. Just don't be confused if it looks a little different than what you're building.
Okay, you've come to the trickiest part of the build, but it's not that tricky, and I've got a pro tip to make it easier and not slow you down so you can just keep building. Now, I've sort of got it set up halfway here, but when you make this shelf with these blocks are gonna stick out, you notice that these small wedges go in first. So I've placed all the small wedges, right? So what I'm gonna do is not gluing the back course yet, the upper course. I'm going to prep the course above it as it would be laid, but I'm gonna scoot it back a bit. And that way I can just slide it up and they will be the counterweight to hold this course on. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm just gonna finish this top course. In the instructions, this is the next course. Now I've got it just enough pulled up, just pulled up enough where I can slide the remaining wedges in to make the shelf. And that will hold them in place. It only needs a little bit because it's basically a half and half. Now, once these blocks are in place, I can just sort of slide this course into place. You know, you can run a bead of glue and slide it up. Run a bead of glue right in front of it so it slides it forward. You're gonna hold in. Now that all the blocks are in place and I put my other course on top, they're secure and I can just keep building. And that's your pro tip.
We're back to the Unity G+. You get the idea. We're just going to continue to stack block, following our instructions, making sure we keep everything plumb and clean so the glue adheres.
Congratulations, we're almost done. We're probably at the trickiest parts of the build. We have to span block across this opening. Now, when we span the block across the back, we had those half blocks to hold the block up and keep them from falling in. We're not gonna have this here. Now, once we get weight on the top, we're not gonna have to worry about these blocks falling because that weight will hold them in place, plus they'll be glued to the slab. So I'm gonna show you a way to do it. All right, we've got our stack of blocks here and that's gonna hold our block up. We'll put our corner block in, and now we're gonna stack these blocks across it. All it's gonna take is this block to hold it in place. Same for this side. We're just gonna set these here. This is temporary to hold it up. When we put the slab on it, the weight of the slab will hold these in place. This one looks like it wants to tip. I'm just gonna slide that in a little more to hold it a little better. Now, everything's solid. Let's keep going. Okay, before we move these slabs, let me talk a little bit about this. You're going to want to get some help. I know you're strong enough and tough enough to move it on your own. Your girlfriend or your wife or your gym buddies, they all know you're tough enough. You don't have to prove anything. Don't injure yourself. Don't break any bones or pieces. Just get some help to move these slabs and it'll go a lot smoother and you'll be thankful that you did. All right, we've got the slabs in place. Everything's looking great. So we're gonna remove these stack of stones because we're gonna need them to finish up over here. Let's get it done. Just like that. All right, everything's looking really good. All the blocks are together, and all we've got to do now is insert this grill. I don't know about you, but this wide open space here looks huge. I'm excited to get this big grill in here and check it out. You definitely want to get help on the grill. It's not the heaviest thing in the world, but it's very cumbersome. You definitely don't want to be dropping your new shiny stainless grill. So get some help. It'll just slide right in here from the front, and we'll get that in. And then after that, I'll show you how to install the cabinet or the drawer, whatever you've happened to get over on the side. All right, the grill's in and it's finished. Look how great it looks. Just something I want to make you aware of. This grill fit is very precise. The overhang here doesn't give much room for any tolerance. So check your instructions and make sure you know what that tolerance is. And you want to be able to put your grill in right after you install your countertops. You might be needing to move them down 1/4 of an inch or adjust them to make sure your grill sits just right. So just check that out. Make sure you fit the tolerances, and if you do, you're gonna have a wonderful grill island or outdoor kitchen that's gonna last a lifetime. Installing the drawer unit is ridiculously easy. We supplied you with 2 pieces of composite material, and these are gonna act as sleds to put in here to slide it up on. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna run a bead of glue on the rough side. You wanna use the rough side because that'll increase the surface area for the adhesion of the glue. You're just gonna glue that. You're gonna glue one in that side. And you glue one in the other. And trust me, that glue, it is not coming off. So you're just gonna glue those in there. And once they adhere, you'll just pick up the drawer and slide it in there. It's a tight fit, so just wiggle it in, and pretty soon you'll have this lovely stainless drawer. Just that simple.
Instead of using screws, I like to wedge a piece of dense foam between the top of my drawers and the stones to compress it in, so when I open and close the drawers, it doesn't wiggle when it's empty.
The first thing you want to do is take the door out of your cabinet. You're just gonna pull this hinge, and this door will come right out. And then you want your frame. You gotta start with your frame. Now, This is the way it's going to open. If you want to open this way, flip this side. So as you install it, be sure you keep it the way you want it. I want to open this way. In your kit, we include these 2 pieces of composite lumber. You're going to put one. What you're going to want to do is glue the rough side, not the smooth side. The rough side has more surface area for the glue to bond to. We're going to glue one here. We're going to glue one here. Go ahead and bring those close to the front. Now I'm not gluing it because I'm making a bunch of them, but those will be glued in. Trust me, it's not going anywhere. All right, what you're going to want to do is then insert your frame, and it will insert once your frame's in. You're going to want to take, we will include these, but just in case they fall off the truck, Jake forgets them, you lose them. These are number 14 by 3/4 inch sheet metal panhead screws. You're going to want to take those and screw them into this buck that you've glued to your thing. And that'll just screw right in there. You don't even need to pre-drill. Just hand tight, don't strip it. We're just going to do that in all these slots. And then we will be able to put our door in. So right now we're just going to put our screws in, and that will hold our frame to our buck. Our buck is glued to our stones.
After your frame is secured, simply use the spring hinges and align your door to the holes of your frame and install it. It's really easy.
Butte clog is a butte.
Well, that about wraps up this video. Hopefully you've learned everything you need to know about the Unity G+, and if it's the outdoor kitchen module for you. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're gonna go over all our kitchen module. Plus we have plenty of great videos on our outdoor fireplaces and grills and everything you need to know to make your backyard the best backyard in the neighborhood.